Hey there, this is Matthew Jennings, and I am back out here at Swim4Life in Evergreen, Colorado, which is awesome. Actually on my way to Breckenridge, Colorado for the COSPRA conference that starts tomorrow, and really looking forward to that and all the professional development that's going to be happening over the next several days there. Could not pass up the opportunity, literally driving right by y'all, to stop in, check in, see how everything's going. We've been watching on social media, so I'd love to just talk through some of the strategies I've seen you leveraging over the last year on social to get the word out about Swim4Life. So stick around. Corinne, thank you so much for joining me this morning. Thanks for letting me stop in here again today. I know you've had a little break in the action. You run a summer camp this morning, which is pretty busy. How many students do you have in that?
We only have 6 this week,
That's
but
awesome.
yeah, it's been a pretty exciting time.
Been a busy morning, and then you're about to kick off lessons the entire rest of the afternoon into the evening. So I won't take too much of your time. But since we were out here last time and just covered what you all are doing out here and the really amazing water safety tips that we left with there, it was really fun to get in the pool and go through the lessons together with you on that. I'm here to tell you that current is way stronger than it looks. Really awesome how well that works. But since then, we've had just a lot of people check out the video and the videos that we've made from that, which has been a lot of fun to see, the excitement around Swim4Life and here at Evergreen. We know you're also resharing the content and liking it out there, and as a result of all that, we're also following your socials and just watching the content that you're putting out. So I'd love to just talk through, as a great community organization like yourself, where you're really doing a great job of connecting the community, bringing them within the walls of what's going on here, and showing people what's happening, and also sharing some of the vital water safety tips that you might otherwise only get if you were in here at a lesson and you're just kind of putting it back out to the world.
Yeah.
I think that's something other community organizations out there can leverage. There's a lot of strategies in what you're doing. You can leverage out there to help your community rally around work that you're involved in, to help get more business. When you send flyers out through Peachjar, more people are going to notice that because they're used to seeing you on social. Boost your followers out there, and I think what you all are doing here, it's scalable for just about anybody out there, which is great.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not as hard as it sounds or looks. I know there was a lot of intimidation for a while, but once you start getting into it, just having that regular schedule, just kind of pulling it out and making it happen.
So let's talk about some of that. I think that you said several things right there that I want to make sure we touch on, because you just dropped a lot of solid gold. We'll get to each one of those, I hope, as we travel down the road here. So let's start with, what are you doing? I know that there's like Wednesday water safety tips. I know there's some other really unique kind of day-driven things you're doing to keep on that schedule. What are some of the things that you're posting out there?
Yeah, so what we do is we kind of have a different theme for each day of the week. So mainly that water safety tip Wednesday, we'll do like a live and then repost that as a reel to our pages. And then we'll do like a behind the scenes on Saturday. Everyone loves a little bit of humor, a little bit of what's happening, how we test the pool chemicals, all the way to meet the staff, goofy videos with the staff. So people are really liking those.
Yes.
We'll do our promos on Monday, kind of highlight a different class or a different option that we have. Some of our offerings.
That's
so,
really cool. And so just a few. So you've got content centered around bringing people in to show them what's going on.
Yeah.
Sounds like you've got content centered around actual like training, water safe tips, which is really cool. And I love the videos with the staff.
Yeah.
And you say those do really well.
Yeah.
Staff love to see themselves out there as long as they're cool being on camera, so definitely check with your staff on that. Not everybody wants to be on camera, but as long as they're cool with it, it's a really great way to get like the values and the people that make up your business out there to the world, which is fun.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be professional or polished. So it takes me to a question: how are you filming the content? Are you using a fancy camera?
Yeah, so we are actually mostly through a phone camera.
Great.
I will say we super lucked out with one of our staff who's got a professional camera, and they've been gracious enough to use that and get us some professional pictures and footage. So if you see that on our socials, it's from that. But this is predominantly done through just a phone camera.
That's awesome, and that's the point. So it doesn't have to be high quality. In fact, the phones that are out there right now, if you have a relatively modern device, it will shoot very similar quality to a high-end DSLR. DSLRs are great for a lot of different things. You've got control over zoom, you've got control over the background and the depth of field, and your f-stops and your shutter speeds, and there's a whole lot that goes into a professional level camera. And you can get some of those controls out of a phone, but the phone, generally speaking, just on automatic mode, will get you about 90% of the way. And it goes back to, like you mentioned, some of those silly videos or some of the videos that might even do the best.
Yeah.
They're just filmed on a phone, they're fun, they're hip, and people love them. It gets a lot of engagement, drives a lot of traffic to your channel, and it's just all done with a regular cell phone, which is awesome.
Yeah.
You mentioned there was some trepidation getting started.
Yeah.
Can you talk me through that? What were you worried about? Were you worried about the filming, the editing, the lighting? What was it that was that kind of trepidation that kept you from initially taking those first steps?
I think probably the hardest part is when you start getting into it, because we've had a few start-stops with our social media. Finally got the ball rolling, got some momentum right now, but there's been some starts and stops, and with those, it's discouraging when you're putting time and effort in. I mean, it's not nothing. Like, there's time that goes into it, and not seeing that much of a response at first can feel very discouraging. It can be difficult. So I think that was the hardest part, is just pushing through that hump. And once we got through that algorithm started picking this up. It's a lot easier now because we're seeing more response, we're seeing greater views, greater likes, interactions, and all that. But I think that's the hardest part. It's just,
getting started. Yeah. You might consider mapping out. Do you have it written out, or is the strategy just kind of in your head? Like, how have you mapped out that schedule?
We do have it written out. Okay. So I have like a calendar printed out and have maybe like a general note. I also try to write and prep everything as far in advance as I can for captions and all that.
Yes.
Because I'm handling more than just social media. I mean, I do scheduling, admin. I talk with our staff and handle all of that. So for me, kind of getting a few concentrated hours is usually the best to get it all prepped ahead of time.
That's huge.
Yeah.
And when you are prepping, I don't know if you are, but don't hesitate to lean into AI that's out there as well. So I don't know if you're using ChatGPT, or Google has a similar service called Gemini. Either one of those can help you write social posts for your business, and even greater content if you have websites, stuff like that. So lean into the tools that you have as well that might help streamline and make it a little bit more efficient the process, so that it's not taking up too much time. I kind of had it figured out. I've just seen the way you've done the content. I kind of figured you had it mapped out, at least you had a calendar of some sort. Highly recommend that as well. Schedule that out, and draft as much of that as you can ahead of time. It alleviates a lot of stress during the rest of the month.
Absolutely.
And probably at the time of filming.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it's great. And then, you have plenty of time, you can get all the clips, all that. One of the things we do is those Thursday kid quotes, and those are probably our hardest ones to plan out in advance, because we're just grabbing snippets. When we're in the water, it's hard to find somebody who's out, get their attention to grab those. So if we, we'll kind of try to take a bunch all at once, and then, clip them out for months out.
That's
and then you can
awesome.
schedule it all on that Meta Business or whatever scheduling service you
Yeah.
use. It's just there, it's done, it's going to happen automatically.
It
Feels great.
Yes, so that's huge. From a very busy person running a business here, that's straight solid gold. So definitely try to plan that out, schedule it out. Don't get caught up in the how. I'm just going to be honest in a minute about something. But before I say that, what are you editing with? What are you using to edit videos? Or are you just kind of recording and then you're getting a product that's close enough, that raw product is just what you're able to put out there?
I'm honestly mostly using raw product. I did have one of the people that we had give us some advice with social media said it's helpful to create those videos within the apps.
Okay.
It's going to help boost you on that algorithm. So we've honestly just had some raw content that I pull in and edit within Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. So just clipping those, adding in sounds, using templates, because those are now out there. It's so great. I feel like Instagram and Facebook are trying to make it a little easier for content creators now.
Finally, huh?
Yeah.
But true. So that's a great tip. Yep, you can edit, you can film and everything right there in the social media platforms you're using. If you are interested in editing tools, I use CapCut a lot, and I use Canva. Actually, it's gotten really good at editing now as well. And Canva's great too if you need B-roll. They have a lot of B-roll in there too. So if you're running a soccer club or something like that, and you need just generic footage of some kids kicking a soccer ball, and you don't happen to have it, it's available to you there in Canva, which is nice. So.
That stuff is amazing. We use it a lot for our open water ones.
There you go.
Yeah, those little clips, because we don't have our kids on the beach out here in a landlocked state of Colorado. So those are fantastic.
No ocean nearby.
I know.
It's tough.
Unfortunately. Suffering.
Suffering. Yes, well, it's a beautiful spot in the world to suffer.
It's true.
Okay, so then that takes me to a point I wanted to make, which is your first few videos.
Mm-hmm.
Were you happy, or were you like, it's gonna work, but I wish I was better?
Yeah, definitely. I had that, okay, this is something.
Yeah.
And at least it's something, but it's not ideal. And that'll still happen from time to time. I'll have some content that goes out. I'm like, that might not have been exactly the standard I want of everything, but sometimes you just gotta grit sheet and be like, hey, something's out there.
Yep.
We're getting the information out there at the end of the day is the most important thing.
Solid goal as well. I kind of knew what your answer was going to be there, and because I felt the same way, and I've coached a lot of people through doing videos, and everybody is always really scared at first, especially if they're filming something that does need to be edited later. So just going to be honest, your first few forays into it may not be the best. You may not be like, I am just an amazing cinematographer here and I've got this all figured out, and that's okay. The more you do it, the better you're going to be at it. And to be honest with the algorithm, how it works is if your product looks too polished, too much like a commercial, people tend to skip over it. If it's more organic and authentic, people tend to stick with it. So don't be too hard on yourself about getting started if you're not sure and you just haven't stepped into the space of social media. It's going to be okay. It's going to be a lot of fun. Not going to be perfect out the gate. You keep at it and you get better and better. I've noticed your videos and your content as well. It's just steadily getting better and better. So it's awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Coming from Peachjar, that means a lot.
Well, that's awesome. Hey, I'll be honest. Like even me, when I'm filming these videos, there's been a few that I've wrapped, and then it's like, man, I wish I'd done this differently. I wish I'd done that better. Something. So it never goes away, but you do get to a level of confidence. You feel like you kind of know what you're doing, and then it gets a lot more efficient. So if you also find yourself bogged down in time at first, where you're just like, this is taking me 20, 30 minutes to do a simple social media post, or an hour, stick with it.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
a lot better.
Yeah, so worth it in the end.
That is great.
Yeah.
And you're seeing a boost in traffic, you're seeing engagement and interaction.
Oh yeah.
That's so awesome. Well, yeah, we are absolutely loving watching the content. Our whole marketing team follows your channel, so it's a lot of fun. So it's pretty cool getting to do that. And we just love that we're able to partner with y'all and help them get the word out through Peachjar anyway, just in general and on social media. So we really think what you're doing here and the team's doing here is really incredible. You mentioned someone with a professional camera. Is that Fern?
Yes.
So shout out to Fern. Keep up the good work. You're rocking it.
Love you, Fern.
Yes, totally rocking it. Any last things that we didn't talk about that just your experience with playing in that social media space that we haven't covered?
Oh man, I think honestly have fun with it.
Yeah.
That's probably the best. Is play to your strengths. Take what you enjoy about your job and or your program or facility and highlight that, because that's one of my favorite things is when you feel that passion behind it. At the heart of what we're doing here is a passion for drowning prevention. So being able to put that energy into what I'm creating, I think, is what keeps me going through seeing low traffic or those videos that just didn't turn out exactly how I wanted. So yeah, that would be my biggest recommendation. Have some fun.
That is awesome. Keep social.
Yeah.
Be authentic and engaging, and that's what it's all about. So if you really want to kind of see what that's looking like, definitely check out Swim4Life social media feeds. They're doing a really great job of just keeping it authentic and real, and it's been a lot of fun following y'all. Corinne, I'm going to get out of here. I know you got a really long night ahead of you still. I really appreciate you taking at least this much time with me. We are really loving watching what y'all are doing.
Well, thank you so much. It's great to see you again, Matthew, and we look forward to
next time I come to you, I'll stop by every time. That's
Absolutely.
Awesome. All right, thanks, Corinne.
Yeah.
All right, hopefully you found this useful. Be sure to use some of these tips and tricks that we've just shared with you here. If you like this, be sure to comment, like, share, follow for more. We'll see you later.